What is someone going to feel once they've seen this, whatever you created? That was the question we'd ask. What do you want someone to feel? And that was the barometer of whether you're successful or not. Once you created a campaign or a product or whatever. I think in the spirit of trust, one is there's so much beauty in letting go. You know, when you imagine, look at it at a personal level. If you're in a personal relationship, there's no trust. That is a hard, rough road. And I'm not sure anybody is feeling really good in that. But when there's just effortless loyalty and trust, then you're not putting your mind on things that are like negative. You're actually probably more than likely putting your energy on all these things around possibility and connection. Then when I get to the idea of perfection, well, I've lived it straight out. Like we had the Nike labor crisis in '95, which truthfully was a horrific time for a lot of different reasons. But one of the worst things was just how the company actually handled that. It was like, okay, hire the biggest PR firms. We're going to do damage control. And a lot of people were telling Phil Knight at the time, like, hey, we just need to be transparent. And he even says his biggest regret was he didn't listen to his own team on how to handle it. And so it, in many ways, just made what it was, that level to be perfect, actually just inflamed the situation that still exists today. Like when you say child labor, sadly, a lot of times people think of Nike. I then went to Nike to seventh generation, which was redefining corporate responsibility. And I remember we'd mess up on something, or like someone looked at one of our ingredients and there was a substrate that actually had been created that wasn't good. And I remember Jeffrey Hollander, there was like, we got to tell everybody. My first reaction was like, what? Like, we're doing what? He's like, oh yeah, like transparency is everything. Just be honest. And we would tell the world like, hey, this is what's going on. And then next thing you know, like our business grew. And so I think this idea of honesty versus perfection, one, it's actually really liberating for the individuals to not live under this cloud of trying to be perfect, because that's super hard. But then I think I just think enhances relationships when there's just a deep sense of vulnerability and honesty. It's like, yeah, this is what happened. This is where we're at. And I think people appreciate that sense of humanness, truthfully.